I just wanted to show two different parts of Qom today. The first being Jamkaran, which is a very large mosque just outside the city, but there's not much to show other than the shape of the mosque itself. Now I'm just walking about 3 kilometers outside the city to a place called Qoli Darvish. And this place is apparently, I can't remember what it said online, 5,000 to 7,000 years old. So I'll be there in a few minutes and I'm going to show you around. Right now it's very much outside the city. Just outside the city of Qom in Iran, there's a giant mosque called Jamkaran, and many people gather here all the time for large events, or even the Tuesday night programs, or many other programs that they have throughout the week. Do note that if you do show up to Jamkaran, there are many things that you cannot bring in, and that includes all your electronics, except your phones are allowed. I did have my camera with me, but I did have to use my cell phone for this and promise them that I wouldn't use it. Otherwise, usually you would have to check it in, but I told them it's worth a lot of money for my main camera, and they said as long as you don't use it, you can bring it in. But what I found online was this mosque is basically about 1,000 years old. How much of it is the original mosque, I'm not sure, but there is a lot of construction and expansion that continues on this mosque all the time. Almost every given corner of this mosque has some construction going on at this moment. There are numerous halls here as well, and this is one of the main areas. I believe this is the masjid where they go to pray. Other areas are for the supplications and for speeches, etc. So although it is a very large mosque, the actual inner or interior part of the mosque is not that large. Most of the mosque is within the courtyard itself. After my brief stop at Jamkaran, like I said earlier, there's not that much to show you there. There's many reasons to go, but there's not that much to show you. So I'm walking over to a place called Qoli Darvish. What this place is a 5,000 to 7,000 year old historical archaeological site, said to have a house of worship in it as well due to the items and artifacts that were found within. Now as I walk towards, you can see that not much is being done with the place. It could be a great tourist attraction, but due to lack of proper management, they haven't been able to continue with this project. And when you get to this open air archaeological site, you notice that there's the roof over it, but there is a large fence with barbed wire around it. So I did have to climb up part of it so I could film this, so you were able to actually see what's within here. Apparently from within here, they also dug up many items like dishes and pots and coins and even counting units as well. What we see here is either walls or foundations, and there's some stairs that you can see here as well on the right side. What you see right now, you would actually barely see if you walked up to this site. Now, directly across the road, there's actually a continuation of this archaeological dig, but this is right at the sidewalk. You're able to actually see it. There's no fence around it whatsoever. And this is actually much better for you to go view than what they have fenced up. So back to across the street where I noticed that first part before I went in. Went around the back here and just saw that they had taken up some dirt in some other spots, and it just looks like stairs or something like that. But as you can see, most of this is sort of just in the middle of nowhere. It's just fields of sand, not fields of sand, desert out here. I really believe this site has so much more potential. Just around back, all we see is basically a set of stairs that was dug up, possibly something else, I'm not fully sure. But most of these mounds, including the mound on the other side of the road that I first showed you, that's behind all the fences and barbed wire, most of this is possibly some ancient city as well. Now, in the 2 years I've been living in Qom in Iran, I've never heard anyone mention the place of Qoli Darvish at all. Now, since 2003, it's been on the National Heritage List, but it seems to have very little traffic, whether that's by car or foot traffic. I don't see anyone here whatsoever. And it practically seems like an abandoned place. This is one of the amazing things about living in Iran, is that even just on the outskirts of your own city, there could be ancient archaeological digs that could be thousands of years old. Most people just pass by them without a care in the world. There's so much more of the ancient Iran to see and visit. Inshallah, I hope I get the chance in the near future.